Have you ever felt like the whole world is screaming at you? Like you made just one small mistake, and suddenly everyone around you has an opinion about your life. It feels heavy, doesn't it? That pressure, that noise, it makes you want to hide. But what if I told you that the problem isn't the noise outside? What if I told you that the secret to finding peace isn't about silencing the world, but about fixing your eyes on something else? Today, I want to share a story with you. It's about a boy who thought his life was over, but who discovered a secret so simple, yet so powerful, that it changed everything. Let me take you to a place that is far away from the busy city life. Picture a small village. It's the kind of place where everyone knows everyone else's name. The air smells like wet earth and fresh grass. In this village, life moves slowly. The sun rises, people go to their farms, they work hard, and they come home. In this quiet village, there lived a young man named Raghav. Now, Raghav was a good guy. He was the kind of person you would want as a neighbor. He was quiet, respectful, and incredibly hardworking. But his life was not easy, not at all. Raghav lived with his mother in a small, humble house. His father had passed away when he was young, so the responsibility of the house fell on his young shoulders very early. While other boys his age were playing cricket or sleeping in late, Raghav was up before the birds. Every single morning, while the sky was still dark and the stars were fading, Raghav would walk to the fields. He would plow the land, he would water the crops. His hands were rough from the work and his back often ached before noon. But he never complained. He did this because he knew his mother depended on him. But here's the thing about Raghav. He had a dream. He didn't want to be a farmer forever. He wanted to learn. He loved books. He loved the idea that words on a page could take you to places you had never been. So after a long, tiring day in the heat of the sun, when his body was screaming for rest, Raghav would wash his face, sit under a small, dim lamp, and he would study. He tried so hard, he really did. Everyone in the village saw him. They would say, "Look at Raghav, he works so hard. He is definitely going to do something big. He will top his exams." And Raghav believed it too. He put his heart and soul into his 12th grade exams. He wanted to make his mother proud. He wanted to show the village that a farmer's son could be a scholar. Finally, the exam week passed. Then came the waiting. And then, finally, the day of the results arrived. Raghav ran to the school notice board. His heart was pounding in his chest like a drum. He scanned the list of names. He looked for his roll number. He found it. But the numbers next to it shattered his world. He had failed. Not everything, but he had failed one major subject. In that moment, the ground felt like it disappeared beneath his feet. All those late nights, all that sweat in the fields, all those dreams, they felt like they had just turned into dust. Now, failure is hard. We all know that. But in a small village, failure is not private. It is public entertainment. This is the sad part of human nature. When you're climbing up, people cheer. But when you slip, oh, they love to talk. The very next day, Raghav had to go back to the fields. He had no choice. Work doesn't stop for a broken heart. As he walked down the narrow village path, the atmosphere had changed. Before, people would wave and smile. Now, he saw two men whispering by the tea stall, looking at him and laughing. He heard a neighbor say, loud enough for him to hear, "See, I told you, you can't do two things at once. He should have just stuck to farming. Who does he think he is trying to be a scholar?" Another group of boys who never worked half as hard as Raghav laughed as he passed by. "Hey, genius, need help counting the crops?" Those words, they didn't just hurt his ears, they pierced his heart. It felt like invisible arrows were hitting him from every side. Raghav kept his head down. He tried to ignore it, but how do you ignore it when it feels like the whole world is against you? So I have a question for you today. What is your pot of milk? What is that one thing in your life that deserves all your attention? Because if you don't have a focal point, you will always be a victim of your surroundings. If you don't fill your mind with your dreams, the world will fill it with fear. Many of us are looking for how to control your mind. And the answer is right here in this story. You control your mind by giving it a job to do, a job so important that it can't afford to be distracted. The path to success is rarely a private, quiet hallway. It is usually a noisy, crowded market. You cannot control the crowd. You cannot silence the market. But you can steady your hands. You can lock your eyes on the prize. Don't let the spilled drops of yesterday ruin the walk of today. Raghav learned that his failure wasn't the end, it was just a stumble. And the mockery wasn't a wall, it was just fog. When you move forward with purpose, the fog clears. So the next time someone doubts you or you feel that crushing weight of judgment, close your eyes for a second. Imagine that pot in your hands. Feel its weight. Remember that you have a job to do, and keep walking. Because in the end, the only thing that matters is whether you carried your dreams to the finish line, not what the spectators shouted from the sidelines. I hope this story helps you find your focus in the noise of everyday life. If you found value in Raghav's journey, and if you want to hear more stories that touch the heart and soothe the soul, please take a moment to click that like button. It truly helps. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.